Hi, just another informal chat with your humble servant from Easy Salvation. This is Mike. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is you're listening to this. I thank you for dropping in and listening to my teachings. So please bear with me. The idea that I had today is when doubts come in, when doubts plague you, there's really one root cause of doubt. The only root cause of doubt is Satan. Because Satan is a liar and a deceiver, and he wants you to be unsure of your faith. So, if you are feeling doubt, then that's Satan working on your mind. He's doing his thing. He has many weapons and tools in his arsenal. And one of the big ones, of course, you know what I'm going to say, one of his big ones for the faithful, for those of us who are drawn to the Lord, Satan had to figure it out, okay? We're drawn to the Lord by truth, love, and the reality that God extended his hand to us, so to speak, by giving his son to die on the cross. This is a great draw. Jesus said he would draw all men unto him. So it's very interesting. Satan had to somehow derail that. So he came up with Calvinism, what's now called Calvinism. He didn't call it that. Man called it that. What Satan called it was, you got to work to be saved. You can't trust Christ. You have to trust yourself. So that's what causes doubt. Of course you doubt yourself. You're a human filled with flaws, filled with lingering sin, weakness, uncertainty. You're a human being. Of course you have doubts because you're placing your faith in yourself. Now, if you place your faith in God, who is not weak but strong, you have strength of conviction. There can be no doubt. Why? Because it's God's work, and God will never fail. He's God. He knows all and does all. How do you know this, Mike? Okay, I'll tell you how I know this. Because I went through it myself. When I was trusting in my own actions, gosh, I need to go to church. Gosh, I need to stop cussing. Gosh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to be this. I need to be that. Oh no, I'm not being super holy this week. Oh my goodness. My flesh got in the way. Of course, now, as you grow, your fleshly leanings will minimize. They will minimize down to almost zero if you really get in the Word. But they're not going to be zero because you're not going to be sinless. And I'm not talking about the big sins. I'm talking about all sins. You can't live a sinless life. You can't. If you could, you wouldn't need Jesus at all. You would just live a sinless life through your super willpower or whatever. But you and I'm talking about myself too, by the way. I'm including myself in all this. But you and I, we all know that the flesh is weak. And the spirit, when plugged in to the proper source, which is Jesus Christ, and the Word of God, is strong. So do that. Plug yourself into the Word of God. Get into the Word. What's stopping you? The only thing stopping you is Satan. He doesn't want you to read the Word because then you'll know the truth. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. That's how you get your truth. Truth comes from the Bible. Read that New Testament, dive in there, and learn what's going on and what's not going on, what's expected, and what to do and what not to do, and all those things. And you'll be much better, and your doubts will diminish because you know that it's not something you do or have to maintain. Not how it works, friends. It's another flesh-based religion because they're putting their faith in their own flesh. You can't do that, okay? So make sure you understand that. And when you trust Christ, that it's His work, not yours, all of a sudden your doubts will just fade away. So get into the Word, friends. All right, have a good day. Thank you for being here.